So we're just going to be doing today three-dimensional problems, which we've sort of done a little bit when we did Pythagoras, because in Pythagoras's theorem comes up a lot in the 3D problems. So here we've got this up here is some summary formulas that you can use. So if you're given a rectangular prism, which is like the box there, you can use these formulas to find certain bits. So you just look at it. So let's have a look at an example here. We've got the pencil within a box, and just say the question is actually, let's find the length of the pencil. Okay, so say that's the question here. So you can see, if you're looking up at those formulas up there, this D is what we're wanting to find. And over here we've got some formulas on how to find it, and I'm going to use this formula here. Okay, so I'm going to write that. So D squared equals, and you can, so I'll just write the rest of the way you see it. So then they've got the rest of that formula there, which is A squared plus B squared squared plus C squared. All right, so look over here on your diagram and you might want to label. So this could be A, and this one could be B, and this could be C. So if I'm looking up here, that's what they've indicated. So I'm just going to pop that into my formula, so I can just put those numbers in. So 24 squared plus 15 squared, and then plus 10 squared. Okay, now this, we want to just know what D is, and this is D squared. So we put solve, make sure you put solve into your calculator. Sorry, that's 10 squared. So we'll quickly do that on the calc. So D equals 30 centimeters. All right, and that makes sense. This is 24. You're going to get a longer pencil if it's going from the diagonal along there. Now these next formulas down here are just for it's just for a square base pyramid. So you could use them if you get a square base pyramid and they're asking you for any of these different values. So I've just popped that in there in case you get that. Unfortunately, this exam question that I'm going to do with you now, it's not a square base pyramid. It's actually a rectangular base pyramid. So that means you can see that the 10 and the 24, they're not the same. So it's not a square base. So let's go work out what they want us to do. So they want us to find OE. So we can see that is the height of that pyramid there. So what we're wanting to do is find triangle that involves that one. And if you look, we've been given the slant edge there, and so if I measure across like that, I get a triangle. So just to show you, I'm going to use this triangle in here to find, so the height's going to be my question there, and I know that this is 28. Now this is a right angle triangle, but I'm missing, say, this distance here, which I'll call X. So what can I do to find X? Well, I can actually use the triangle that's flat along the ground. And so what I'm using is those two sides there, and I'm using this full length here. So if I draw that triangle out separately, we can see what we have is, we've got, this is 10 centimeters, this is 24, and this bit would be X from here to here, and so would this be X. All right, so I can find, if I found this full length along here, and just say I call it Y, well, X must equal the Y divided by 2. Okay, because there's two of them. So what I'm going to do, this is the right angle triangle. So in there you can see that that's actually a right angle. So I can use Pythag again. So Pythagoras would be y squared equals the other two sides squared. So you can use solve if you like here, comma y, and we find out what y is. So I'm just working that out, sorry, on the calc. So we get it is 26, y equals 26. So therefore 26 divided by 2 is 13. So now I know that this is 13, and now I can use Pythag again, where I go 28 squared, because remember that's the c, equals 13 squared plus h squared. And we're going to do solve and comma h, and we'll find out what h equals. So just doing that on my calculator. So I get 24.8, which is answer C. So there's that one. So often when you have these 3D things, there's 2 steps involved, or 2 processes. So you normally have to find one side and then go back up and do it again. So this was like step 1, this is step 2. This is question 7, so it would be expected to take a little bit longer. Okay, so here's a couple of others. Now in this one, it wants me to find the length of the diagonal AC. So if you look, AC is across the floor, or across the bottom of the, say that was a tent or something. So what I can use is I could use it doesn't matter which way, but I might use this triangle like that. And that is the right angle. So if I draw this triangle up and I say this is D, this is A, and this is C, and we go across there. So we know between A and D is 28, and this length is going to be the same as C and D. So we know this is 12 centimeters as well. So if we adjust, this is just a simple Pythag question, where I could say, all right, C squared is equal to 28 squared plus 12 squared. So we can use solve if you like and find out what that C is, which is going to be the answer. So I'll do that one on my calc again. Plus 12 squared. So I get this to, it says now 3 significant figures. So I get my answer to be 30.5. So you start counting as soon as you have a non-zero. So there's 1, 2, and there's my 3rd significant figure. So they actually called it AC. So I might write AC equals 30.5 centimeters. And there's my answer. All right, and then down in the next question, we can see sometimes they ask this, they have a circular cone, and that's still using right angle triangles, and they want the height of the cone. So when you cut down there like that, you create a right angle triangle with, along here, you've got the slant. You can use the slant, and you can use half of that across there. Now they've said the whole diameter of the circle is 30, so that makes this bit 15. And you've got a right angle triangle in there. So you can use Pythag again. Remember, this is C, these are A, and this is B. So I could say 40 squared equals H squared plus 15 squared. And we can do solve, comma H, and it says is closest to, it must have been a multi-choice, and I've actually cut off the multi-choice answers, but that's all right. We'll just do 2 decimal places, which gives me the height to be 37.08 centimeters. Okay, so there's our final. So very easy. These